All right, so today we're going to do a deep dive into Gary Vaynerchuk's Crushing It.
Okay.
Um, you shared this book with me because you're really interested in building a killer personal brand in this digital age.
Yeah.
And I think this book is really going to help us unearth some gems.
Yeah, I think so too.
So this is actually a follow-up to his 2009 book, Crush It.
Right?
But it has been completely updated to really address today's crazy social media landscape.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool about this book is that he goes beyond just theory.
Okay.
You know, he packs this book with actual real stories of entrepreneurs who have used these strategies to build their brand and on all sorts of platforms like YouTube, Instagram.
Yeah, when I saw Musical.ly on the list, I was like, what?
I know, right? It definitely caught my attention too.
It definitely caught my attention.
That's classic Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
He's always thinking ahead.
Yeah.
He sees those teens on Musical.ly as the future generation of entrepreneurs.
Wow.
And I think what's interesting is that throughout the book, he's very, very clear.
Okay. The core message is crystal clear. Building a strong personal brand is the key to freedom and success in today's world.
Yeah, it's not about being famous. It's about being known.
That's it. Exactly.
For your expertise.
Yes.
Your passion, what you stand for.
And one story that I thought was super cool was Alex.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the guy that built a T-shirt company from scratch?
Yeah, he credits Crush It with giving him the confidence to kind of go his own way.
Exactly. His story is so impactful.
Yeah.
You know, he talks about how he was able to build this really strong personal brand. And because of that, he even had fans who gave him birthday money to go to a conference.
Oh, wow. Talk about having a loyal fan base.
I know.
Okay, so we've got the passion, we've got the personal brand. Then there's this whole world of platforms that we have to navigate. And I feel like that's a lot. It's overwhelming.
Vaynerchuk tackles it head on, though.
Okay.
He goes through all the platforms.
Okay.
Twitter, YouTube, Instagram.
Podcasting.
Yeah. Even voice-first technology.
He's got it all in there.
Oh, wow. Okay, so he doesn't just say pick one and stick with it.
No.
It's about knowing how to use each one.
Right, and understanding how those platforms work for you.
Right.
Not trying to be on every single one, but just choosing the right platform for your audience.
Which brings us back to Musical.
Yeah.
It's like he's saying, don't rule out a platform just because you're not on it.
Exactly.
You have to go where your audience is, even if it feels weird.
He's all about that, right?
Yeah.
Challenging the status quo.
Totally.
Yeah, and that kind of leads into his whole approach to building a personal brand. It's all about being adaptable, willing to experiment.
But it takes work.
It does.
A lot of work.
Vaynerchuk's not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's all about hustle.
The grind.
The grunt.
Putting in the time, the effort.
Exactly. And he has so many stories in the book about people who have done that, who have put in the time and effort, overcome challenges.
Yeah, one story that completely blew me away was Mimi Goodwin.
Oh, yeah.
She went from like homelessness and teen mom to running a successful sewing blog.
Yeah.
Collaborating with Simplicity Patterns. Even landing a spot on Project Runway.
She's amazing.
What a journey.
It really goes to show that passion and perseverance, that's Vaynerchuk's message.
Right.
That you can really achieve incredible things no matter your circumstances.
I love that he doesn't just leave us hanging with these inspirational stories. He gives actionable advice.
He does.
In each platform.
Yeah, like on Instagram.
Yeah.
He really dives deep into like using hashtags strategically, mastering direct messaging, things like that.
So it's not just showing up, it's showing up strategically.
Exactly. Showing up the right way.
Yeah, one thing that really stuck out to me, he emphasizes quality of followers over quantity.
Oh, yeah. Huge.
And that was like a big aha moment for me.
It's not about vanity metrics. It's about attracting the right audience.
Yeah.
The people who are genuinely interested in what you have to say, what you're doing.
Totally. And that kind of leads into another big point that he makes, which is authenticity.
Yes. He's big on that.
Being genuine, being transparent.
Yes.
Not trying to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
I thought Brittany Castro's story was a great example of that.
Oh, tell me about it.
She's a financial planner.
Okay.
And she found success by just embracing her unique personality.
Right.
Targeting an audience that a lot of traditional advisors just overlook.
Yeah, and that really illustrates that in today's digital world, there really is a tribe for everyone.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting to see some patterns here. Passion, hard work, the right platform, authenticity. It's like a recipe for success.
And he breaks it all down
Economic.
into manageable steps.
Okay.
And he sees Facebook as the cost of entry for building your personal brand.
Okay, why Facebook? I would have thought Instagram.
Well, he says that Facebook offers incredible flexibility for establishing your presence.
Oh.
It's kind of like building your home base.
Interesting.
And from there, you can kind of expand to other platforms.
Oh.
But yeah, he sees Facebook as like a must-have.
Okay.
And he talks about 2 really key strategies for getting noticed on Facebook.
Okay, what are those?
Hashtags,
Okay.
using them strategically,
Okay.
and direct messaging.
Direct messaging. Okay, so let's break those down.
Yeah.
First, hashtags.
Okay, so hashtags, they're your ticket to increased visibility,
Okay.
but it's not just about throwing in a bunch of random words.
Okay.
It's about researching, being strategic, finding those relevant hashtags that your target audience is actually using,
Okay.
and then using a mix of broad and niche terms.
Okay.
So yeah, just being strategic about it.
Okay.
Now, direct messaging.
Okay, so direct messaging. This one feels a little more
Yeah.
personal. Is he telling us to slide into everyone's DMs?
He actually compares it to like meeting someone new at a dinner party.
Okay.
If you find that you have a shared interest, you wouldn't think twice about exchanging business cards.
Yeah.
So he sees direct messaging as just the digital version of that.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So it's not about spamming people with links to your content.
No, no, no.
It's about making that genuine connection,
Exactly.
adding value to the conversation.
And he suggests dedicating serious time to this,
Okay.
reaching out to people, engaging with their content,
Mm-hmm.
offering something valuable in return.
So building those authentic relationships.
Yeah, not chasing followers.
Okay, so putting in the work is non-negotiable.
It is. It is.
It always comes back to that.
Vaynerchuk's all about that hustle.
Yeah.
Speaking of hustle, musical.
Okay, I'm still trying to understand.
I know, me too.
Like,
Yeah.
why should someone who's not like a, I don't know,
Yeah.
a teeny bopper pop star be on this app?
His answer is those teens grow up.
Oh.
He sees it as a long-term investment,
Oh, wow. Okay.
connecting with a younger audience who will one day be entrepreneurs, marketers,
So building brand awareness early on.
establishing yourself.
As an
as a-
authority figure, because it's overlooked by a lot of the older generations,
Right.
there's less competition there.
It's a chance to stand out.
Exactly.
Okay.
Be creative.
I like it.
He's all about that.
And he says the same thing for Snapchat.
Yeah, a lot of people have written it off,
Yeah?
but he still thinks it's a really valuable tool
Okay, why?
because it's all about authenticity,
Okay.
rawness. It's about letting your guard down
Oh.
a little bit, showing a different side of yourself that
Yeah.
you might not show on a platform like Instagram.
So it's kind of like that behind-the-scenes look
Exactly.
at your life, at your
And
brand.
again, because so many people are overlooking it,
Yeah,
there's less competition for attention there.
right.
So it can be a really good differentiator.
For people who don't like the kind of
Yeah,
curated perfection of Instagram.
exactly.
Okay, so what about Twitter?
Twitter.
People either love it or hate it.
I know, right? He calls Twitter the water cooler of society
Okay.
because it's where people go to share news.
Okay, but isn't that Facebook?
Well, they both have their strengths,
Right.
but Twitter's all about speed,
Correct.
conversational focus.
Okay.
It's where you engage with people in real time.
So less about crafting the perfect post.
Yeah.
And more about just being there.
Yeah, exactly.
And participating.
Yeah, and because it's so fast-paced,
Yeah.
there's a chance to get your message seen by a wider audience.
Okay, I see that.
How often do you retweet something that you find interesting?
All the time.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
You can organically spread your message.
Okay.
And also on Twitter, you can engage with influencers,
Okay.
thought leaders in your industry.
Okay, that's a good point.
Much easier than on other platforms.
I'm seeing Twitter in a new light.
Good.
But I think the platform
Yes.
that everyone's thinking about for building a personal brand
Yeah.
is YouTube.
YouTube, I think Vaynerchuk would agree with you.
Okay.
He considers it like the most important platforms.
Yeah.
And for good reason, video is powerful.
It's how people want to consume content.
It's how they connect.
Yeah.
It's engaging. It's storytelling.
Yeah, and think about all those YouTube stars
Mm-hmm.
who have built massive followings and businesses
Exactly.
from their YouTube channel.
And YouTube is only becoming bigger.
Yeah.
It's the go-to source for entertainment, especially for younger generations.
Okay, so let's say I'm ready to become a YouTuber.
Okay.
Where do I even begin?
So he talks about creating native content.
What does that mean?
Content that's made for YouTube,
Okay.
specifically for YouTube.
Okay.
So it's not about uploading your latest speaking engagement.
Right.
It's about creating videos that are engaging, informative.
Tailored to how people consume YouTube videos.
Exactly. And you got to let your personality shine through.
People connect with people, not robots.
Yes. Exactly.
And he gives us tips for optimizing our videos too, right?
Yeah, like creating catchy titles, writing detailed descriptions, using the right tags. Make it easy to find.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do we get people to actually watch our videos?
He talks about his jab, 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 right hook philosophy.
What does that mean?
It's about providing value, value, value
Okay.
before you ask for anything in return.
Oh,
So it's about building a relationship.
so I shouldn't just like slap a subscribe button on there and call it a day.
No, definitely not.
Oh,
It's
good,
about
good.
building trust, building a relationship, giving them valuable content that they'll actually want to watch.
Okay, so YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. What about the underdog?
Talking about podcasting?
I'm talking about podcasting.
I knew it!
Because podcasts are having a moment.
They are.
But are they really a viable platform for building a personal brand?
Absolutely.
Ben-
Podcasting lets you connect with your audience in a really intimate way.
Yeah.
It's like having a one-on-one conversation with them.
And they're super convenient.
They are.
You can listen while you're doing other things.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. So you can multitask. And it seems like people really connect with podcasts
They do.
on a deeper level.
It fosters deep engagement.
Okay.
And listeners tend to be super invested.
Okay, so it's not just about broadcasting your message.
Right.
It's about building that community.
Yeah.
And it's still a relatively new platform.
Yeah.
Less competition.
Exactly. It's your chance to establish yourself
Okay.
as an authority figure.
Oh, I like it.
Build a following.
Yeah. And Vaynerchuk himself is a big podcasting fan.
Huge. He has a podcast, the Gary V Audio Experience.
Yeah.
It's very successful. He covers a lot of different content on there.
Yeah, okay, so we're sold on podcasting.
Okay.
Now, what about the future?
The future. He's super excited about voice-first technology.
Okay.
Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant.
Hold on. Amazon Alexa for personal branding.
Think about it. People are using voice commands more and more
Yeah.
to search for information, to shop.
It's becoming part of our lives.
Exactly.
So it's not just about asking Alexa to play music.
No, it's a massive opportunity to connect with your audience through your own Alexa skill.
Oh, okay.
So instead of visiting your website,
Okay.
they can just ask Alexa.
To get the content.
Exactly.
Okay.
And because it's so new,
Right.
another huge
You
opportunity.
get ahead of the curve.
Yes, establish your brand in this emerging space.
But isn't creating an Alexa skill
It can be technical,
pretty technical?
but it's becoming increasingly accessible.
Okay.
And he really stresses that the most important thing is creating valuable content
Right.
for that specific format.
Yeah.
Thinking outside the box,
Okay.
being creative, delivering your message concisely.
All right. We have covered a lot of ground.
We have.
From Facebook and YouTube to voice-first technology.
Yes,
Vaynerchuk really paints a comprehensive picture
he does.
of this digital landscape.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, what are some common mistakes that he sees people making?
I think one of the biggest mistakes he sees is people misunderstanding what a personal brand actually is.
Okay, so what is it?
It's not about fabricating a persona
Right.
or trying to be someone you're not.
Yeah.
It's about showcasing your authentic self,
Okay.
sharing your passions, your expertise.
No more pretending to be perfect.
No, authenticity is key.
Yeah.
People can spot a fake from a mile away,
Okay.
so just be yourself.
Right.
Embrace your quirks, your imperfections.
Okay.
And another mistake he sees is people focusing too much on self-promotion,
Okay.
not enough on providing value to their audience.
Oh, yeah.
He calls this the selfish approach to personal branding,
Okay.
and it's a recipe for disaster.
So no more spamming people with links to my latest product launch.
Exactly. It's about building community, not bombarding people with sales messages.
Okay.
And another one is trying to be on every single platform
Oh, yeah.
all at once.
Yeah.
Spreading yourself way too thin.
Trying to do it all.
Yeah, he calls this the wide approach.
Right.
And it just leads to burnout.
Yeah.
It's much better to go deep on a few platforms
Right.
than to go wide on all of them.
Quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Okay, those are some great insights.
Yeah.
It's so much more than posting pretty pictures on Instagram.
Right.
It's about those connections, the value, being yourself.
And patience.
Patience.
He talks a lot about that too.
Go ahead.
Building a personal brand is a long game.
Yeah.
It's not about overnight success.
Yeah. I'm not good at patience,
I hear you.
but it's consistent effort over time.
Yeah. And he really emphasizes enjoying the journey.
Okay.
Focusing on that process, creating, connecting with your audience,
Okay.
finding joy in the hustle,
Yeah.
celebrating the small wins.
Okay. That's a good reminder.
Yeah.
It's so easy to get caught up in the numbers and just lose sight of the bigger picture.
Yeah, and he talks about how building a personal brand is not just about you.
Okay.
It's about making a positive impact on the world.
Okay. So it's about making a difference.
Exactly. And he believes that everyone has something unique to offer.
I like that.
So find your voice.
Yeah.
Share your story.
I'm inspired. We've only scratched the surface.
Yeah, I think so too.
There's so much in this book.
So much wisdom, practical advice.
Yeah, and he gives us real-life examples.
He does, from all walks of life.
Yeah.
People who are crushing it.
I love those stories.
Me too.
Okay, let's recap some key takeaways before we wrap up this part of our deep dive.
Okay, so first and foremost, building a strong personal brand.
Right.
That's the foundation for success.
It's about establishing yourself as the expert
Yes.
in your field.
And it's about embracing your authentic self.
Yes, being yourself.
Letting your personality shine through.
Yeah, and then choosing the right platforms.
Exactly.
Not trying to do it all
Focusing your energy.
where it matters most.
Yeah, and he gives specific strategies for each platform.
Yeah, YouTube, Instagram,
All of them.
and then, of course, hustle.
Hustle. Vaynerchuk's all about that hustle. Being proactive, persistent.
Remember Alex, the T-shirt guy?
Oh, yeah.
Who wrote handwritten notes to every customer?
Yeah, he went above and beyond.
He did.
And it paid off.
It did. It did.
Yeah, and then providing value.
Give.
Jab, 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 right hook.
Right
Yes.
hook, yeah.
Exactly.
And then that last one.
Patience.
Yeah.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
So just enjoy the journey.
I love Vaynerchuk's energy.
Yeah,
It's contagious.
it is.
His passion for helping people crush it
Yeah.
really comes through in the book.
He genuinely believes that anyone can do it
Yeah.
if they're willing to put in the work.
Yeah.
Embrace the journey.
This book is inspiring. It's not just about getting rich or famous.
No.
It's about finding your passion, building a community, making a positive impact on the world.
Exactly. And having fun along the way.
All right, we've covered a lot, but there's the one thing I want to touch on before we move on.
Okay.
Gary Vaynerchuk, if you're listening, we have a question for you. You talk a lot about embracing new platforms,
Yeah.
staying ahead of the curve. But what about the platforms that are already saturated?
That's a good question.
Yeah, how do you break through the noise?
Well, he says that it's not about finding a secret sauce.
Okay.
It's about going back to the fundamentals,
Okay.
creating high-quality content,
Oh.
providing value, being consistent.
So showing up every day,
Yeah.
even when you don't feel like it?
Even when it feels like no one's watching.
So playing the long game.
Yeah, and trusting the process.
Okay.
And finding ways to be creative, to differentiate yourself.
So finding your unique angle.
Exactly. Building a community, not just a following.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not about a magical shortcut.
No.
It's about excellence, authenticity,
Yeah.
and having fun along the way.
Always.
Okay, we're pumped.
Yes.
We're ready to tackle this whole personal branding thing.
Good.
But before we move on to part 2, I want to leave our listener with a final thought-provoking question.
Okay, hit me.
What if Vaynerchuk is right?
Okay.
What if anyone can crush it? What if the only thing holding you back is yourself?
It's a good question to ask.
Yeah,
It
it's
is.
a good question to have.
I should ask it regularly. Yeah, it really is a question that we should all be asking ourselves regularly, you know. The digital world is constantly changing. What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow.
Yeah, so true. It's like we have to always be adapting,
Exactly.
refining our approach, looking for new ways to connect with people. Speaking of adapting, one thing that really stuck with me was Vaynerchuk's take on
Okay.
traditional media versus this new digital world.
Yeah, he draws this really fascinating parallel between the two.
Yeah.
He talks about how the internet has really become the ultimate middleman,
Okay.
empowering industries to go directly to consumers.
Right, like how music went from record labels
Right.
to these streaming services.
Yeah, moving from those traditional houses to the self-publishing platform.
Yeah, it's like cutting out the middleman.
Exactly. And he even compares social media platforms like Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook to like the major television networks of the past.
So our phones are the new TV screens.
It really highlights the power of these platforms.
Yeah.
Like anyone with a smartphone and an internet connection can reach a global audience.
So no more excuses about needing a fancy studio or a big budget.
The barriers to entry have never been lower.
Okay.
It's really all about creativity, hustle,
Yeah.
connecting with your audience.
And this is where the whole idea of the influencer comes in.
Right.
It's a term that gets thrown around so much these days.
It does.
But Vaynerchuk really breaks it down.
He does.
What it means to be an influencer in today's world.
And he makes it clear that it's not just about having a big social media following.
Okay.
It's about having influence, like cultivating a community of people who trust your opinions.
So it's not about like manipulating people or tricking them.
No, no, no.
It's not about being an influencer in like the negative way.
It's about building genuine relationships, providing value, becoming a trusted source of information.
So how do you build that trust?
So Vaynerchuk believes in documenting your journey,
Okay.
sharing both your successes and your failures.
So not pretending to be perfect.
Not at all. It's about being real, relatable.
Okay.
People are drawn to authenticity. They
Okay.
want to connect with someone who's been there, who's made mistakes, who's learned from them.
Yeah. So embracing that messiness
Exactly.
of building a brand, building a business.
It's about sharing your story, your struggles, your triumphs.
And that's where storytelling comes in.
Exactly.
You know, people connect with stories on a deeper level.
He encourages thinking of your personal brand as a story that unfolds over time.
Okay, so it's not about just creating one piece of content.
No.
It's about creating a narrative.
Yeah, inviting your audience to be a part of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Building a community.
But building community takes time.
It does.
And not everyone's willing to play the long game.
True.
Vaynerchuk says that patience is key.
Yeah, he sees so many people giving up too early.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Building a personal brand, a business, a community, it takes time.
Yeah, and Vaynerchuk's all about hustle,
Hustle, yes, working hard, being relentless.
but also working smart,
Working smart, that's right.
finding those efficiencies.
Yeah, finding ways to be more effective with your time.
So not working yourself to the bone.
No.
Okay, but what about those of us who are a little more, I don't know,
Yeah.
introverted?
Vaynerchuk is such an extrovert.
It can feel intimidating.
It can, but he says there's no one-size-fits-all.
Okay, so you don't have to be like a loud, in-your-face personality.
You can find your own style. Express yourself authentically.
Okay, so even if you're not comfortable doing live videos.
You can focus on written content, create visuals,
Yeah.
podcasting. There are so many options. So finding what works best for you.
Exactly. But no matter what, he emphasizes consistency,
Okay.
creating a content calendar, scheduling time to create, to share, sticking to it.
So treating your personal brand like a business
Exactly.
with a plan, a schedule.
Showing up consistently.
Okay. No more posting once a month.
No, consistency is key.
Okay.
Building momentum, staying top of mind.
Okay. But what about those of us who struggle with self-doubt?
Yeah.
Vaynerchuk seems so confident.
He does, doesn't he?
Yeah, it could be hard to relate.
I get it, but he actually talks about his own struggles
Oh, really?
with self-doubt,
Wow.
and he's learned to manage those feelings.
So what's his secret?
He focuses on the positive,
Okay.
surrounds himself with supportive people,
Okay.
celebrates his wins.
Okay, so shifting your perspective,
Yeah.
focusing on the good, giving yourself credit.
It's okay not to be perfect.
Okay, but what about the haters?
The hater.
Yeah, when you put yourself out there, there's going to be negativity.
Oh, absolutely. It's inevitable, but he has an approach. Ignore them.
You just notice them.
Avoids giving them power.
So protecting your energy, your joy.
Exactly. And he points out that haters are often just projecting their own insecurities.
So it's not about you, it's about them.
Right. Focus on the positive, your true fans.
Rise above it.
Exactly.
Okay, but what about negative feedback from your family and friends?
Oof. Yeah, that's tough.
You want their support, but they don't always get it.
Yeah, he suggests having honest conversations with them,
Okay.
explaining your passion, your vision, asking for their support,
Yeah.
even if they don't fully understand.
So setting boundaries, communicating your needs.
It's your life, your dream.
Yeah.
You have the right to pursue it.
What about the fear of failure?
Big one.
What if I put myself out there and it doesn't work?
He says it's a common obstacle, but it shouldn't stop you.
Okay, so not just ignoring my fears.
No, acknowledge them, understand them,
Okay.
and then manage them.
So how do we do that?
Break your goals down into smaller steps.
Baby steps.
Celebrate small wins. Focus on the process.
Okay, so progress, not perfection.
Exactly. And build a support system. People who believe in you.
Okay, so you don't have to go it alone.
Find your tribe.
Yeah.
Remember that failure is part of the process.
It sounds like building a personal brand is not for the faint of heart.
It takes courage, resilience,
Yeah.
willingness to embrace the unknown.
But Vaynerchuk says the rewards are worth it.
They can be incredible: freedom, financial success,
Yeah.
the opportunity to make a difference.
And he's a perfect example of that.
Absolutely. He's living proof,
Yeah.
from his wine business to his social media empire.
And he's so generous with sharing his knowledge.
Yeah, he believes in community, helping others.
Okay, we've covered a lot about building a personal brand.
Oh.
And he's definitely not afraid to challenge the status quo.
No, he encourages out-of-the-box thinking,
Yeah.
pushing boundaries, taking risks.
Okay, but how does his advice hold up in the real world?
That's a great question. And the answer is, it works.
Okay.
The book is full of real-life examples.
Okay, I want to hear these stories.
Me too. Let's see how these concepts play out.
Okay, let's dive in.
Let's do it.
See how people are crushing it. All right, so we're talking real-world success stories.
Yeah, where Vaynerchuk's ideas have actually been put into action.
This is what I love to see.
Me too, seeing those results.
So one that I thought was really fascinating was Lauren Everett's
Oh, yeah. The Skinny Confidential.
Skinny Confidential.
She's a great example.
What I love about her story is she started her blog when she was totally broke,
Yeah.
working as a fitness instructor,
Mm-hmm.
just documenting her life.
And she didn't shy away from anything.
No, she was totally transparent.
Talked about everything.
Yeah.
Beauty tips, boob jobs, you name it.
And people loved her for it.
They did. She was so authentic.
And remember, Vaynerchuk talks about reinvesting in your business.
Yeah, she was all about that.
She poured everything back into the Skinny Confidential.
Yeah, even when it meant making sacrifices.
And she wasn't afraid to experiment with her content, bring in new people.
Yeah, like her grandma, the Nance.
Yeah.
And then later, her husband, Michael.
It's a great way to keep things fresh.
And connect with new audiences.
And she really understood the power of storytelling.
Yeah.
She didn't just share information, she shared experiences.
Emotions, personal anecdotes.
And she wasn't afraid to be vulnerable.
No.
Remember when she talked about the cyberbullying she experienced?
Yeah, that was a really powerful moment.
She used it as an opportunity to speak out,
Yeah.
to encourage kindness.
Turning a negative into a positive.
Yeah, she really used her platform to make a difference.
Absolutely.
All right, another example, Brian Wampler.
Oh, yeah, Wampler pedals.
Wampler Pedals, he's someone who really defied the odds.
He did. He followed his passion.
Yeah.
Even when people told him not to.
His parents wanted him to get a stable job,
Yeah, construct.
but he never gave up on his music.
He didn't. He started tinkering with guitar pedals as a hobby.
Yeah, and it turned into a business.
And not just a business, a community.
He really engaged with his customers.
Yeah, he shared his knowledge, answered questions.
Yeah, and he understood that it's not just about him.
Right.
He empowered his employees to become faces of the company.
Yeah, creating a team of influencers.
So smart.
And he wasn't afraid to experiment with different platforms.
Yeah, he created ebooks, DIY kits.
And eventually, his own line of custom pedals.
Yeah,
He really went deep with his content.
quality over quantity.
Exactly.
Okay, let's talk about Alex, the founder of Foolies.
Oh, yeah, he built a brand around a really unique concept.
Even when people doubted him.
They did. They thought he was crazy for wanting to write personalized letters to every customer.
Yeah, they said it wasn't scalable.
But he believed in that personal connection.
Yeah, he wanted to create an experience.
And it worked. People loved it.
Yeah, they shared it on social media,
Giving his brand that organic buzz.
turning a weakness into a strength.
Exactly. He owned it.
And he wasn't afraid to target a niche audience.
No, he focused on sneakerheads, streetwear enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Connected with them on social media.
And he created an experience. Remember the Dream Journal?
Yeah. And the spray paint.
So cool.
It was genius.
Alex's story really reminds us that sometimes you got to go against conventional wisdom.
Yeah. Be different. Trust your gut.
Okay, one last story. Timothy, the construction entrepreneur.
Yeah, he's a great example of hard work and preparation.
He went from pushing papers to running a successful construction business.
In just a few years.
He totally immersed himself in the industry.
Learning everything he could.
Books, magazines, mentors.
He wanted to be so knowledgeable that his age wouldn't matter.
Yeah, he was determined to prove himself.
And he did.
Hard work, dedication.
Clear vision, plan of action.
Wow, so inspiring.
These stories really show that Vaynerchuk's principles work.
They're not just theory.
They're real-world strategies for success.
Anyone can crush it.
It's about passion, community, and pursuing your goals relentlessly.
So what's your story going to be?
What's that spark inside you?
We hope this deep dive into crushing it has given you the tools you need.
To build your own legacy.
Remember, the digital age is full of opportunity.
Embrace your authenticity, put in the work, don't be afraid to experiment.
You might just surprise yourself.
And until next time, keep crushing it.